Hi, I'm Alex Turner.
I'm John Bird.
And I'm Angus Findlay.
And this is our video, Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual. It begins with one of our friends, Aaron, walking to work. He's coming out of Waterloo Station with his normal work clothes on, listening to his iPod.
This next shot is one of an over-the-shoulder shot on Aaron looking at his iPod, and we put on Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual. And an idea that we had was to make our ancillary product before shooting the film and put our album cover onto the iPod. When he puts on his song, then our album cover comes onto the iPod.
The next shot is of Tom Jones. Well, Aaron turning into Tom Jones is going to be dressed in the typical Tom Jones attire, which in this period was flares, very tight flares around his crotch, and very large collared shirt. And behind him is a band with a guitarist and a trumpet player.
We are then going to have Aaron walking with the band following him around a lot of iconic London places. This is to mainly appeal to American people because they like seeing London landmarks. So we're going to have him walking through with the camera following him, usually from front, but obviously cutting because the music's quite fast-paced.
We're going to have him walking past loads of London landmarks like the London Eye and Big Ben.
This is Millennium Bridge in London, another iconic landmark. We're using all the landmarks as it appeals to a more broad audience and they can relate to it. And we're just filming on here as he walks along with the band behind him.
Yeah. Maybe even like a wide shot from like another bridge down the river, just establishes
and
the
zooming
whole,
in on
and establishes where he is. Also, along his walk to work, with his Tom Jones playing, he's going to encounter a few characters. One of them is going to be a man sitting on a bench looking at a magazine, which is going to have our ancillary magazine advertisement on the magazine page.
This next shot is one of Alex's ideas, where we have Aaron walking past one of the sentinel or sentry box guards, and then what happens is Aaron just walks past him. Obviously the person doesn't change his emotion, and when he walks past we have like a 5-second gap of where the music just stops and the bloke is just staring at the camera, and then after that little gap we have the band following afterwards, and then the music starts playing when they follow him.
This is when Tom Jones goes into the Channel 4 building, into the foyer. This links onto the next shot, which is of him walking through a TV studio, which will either be the news or the weather.
We are going to use the college TV studio, and we're going to have like either a news broadcast or the weather. But if we do a news broadcast, we could have in the green screen in the background an amateur video of us recording Tom Jones, filmed on a mobile phone, so that it sort of, the news article could be that Tom Jones has been spotted in London filming his new music video when he interrupts the news broadcast to the shot of the newsreader.
He just sort of walks through the news.
Yeah.
This is one of Angus's ideas for a shot towards the end of the video where Aaron gets on a bicycle carriage, and this is where it sort of takes him from like the end of his journey towards the either college or work, wherever we decide him to go. And then when he gets on the carriage, we're sort of going to have a shot of the band like waving goodbye to him and all this.
Basically this is when Tom Jones steps into the foyer and transforms back into normality. He then goes into his pockets and takes out a piece of memorabilia from him being Tom Jones, either some women's underwear. As commonly when Tom was performing, he had women's underwear thrown at him. So, yeah, it's a good little way to end.
Good little intertextual reference.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.